Coming through. Three, two, one, and we're live.
Hello.
Hello, Mr. Joe Trex.
Hey mate, how you doing?
Hello. I'm all right. I'm all right. I've had a little bit of a challenging week. Just lots going on. I'm sure that you're a man who can relate to that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, what's
um,
been going on?
just running overview music and putting on lots of events, and yeah, it's like everything seems to be like heating up at the moment, and
Yeah.
yeah, just busy,
Release
busy.
release every 2 weeks.
Yeah,
That's hard work.
I tell you what, I think it's almost a little bit too much sometimes. How much are you doing it with Trust at the moment?
We're doing one a month. And so some stretches out to one every 5 weeks. But because we've got like a team of artists that we pay monthly, so it kind of forces us to put something out every month. Otherwise, we're wasting our money because we've got them on a kind of a contract thing. So
Right. Okay.
that was a good way of us kicking ourselves up the arse, really, to get our scheduling in order.
Yeah, I mean it's that thing like you got to be consistent with things in a way.
Yeah.
I mean like once a month I think is a good yeah,
Yeah.
pretty good. I mean as you probably are finding out it's quite hard work even just
It's
doing it
really
once a
hard
month.
work, and also to put out something that's really good every month is is another challenge as well. Because I don't,
Mm.
yeah, keeping the quality high and all that, which is, well, you manage it well. We do as well. We're doing all right.
Yeah, I mean, like you're saying, yeah, it is as hard to keep the quality consistently coming. That's probably even the bigger challenge.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. You have a banger, like a big tune does well or whatever, and then you like the next release has, it's always going to be a bit of a anticlimax if it is at the same standard. Do you know what I mean?
but then it's like the gauge of success or gauge of what's good. It becomes a bit
This is true. Yeah, about sales and stuff. Yeah.
like what are you really caring about, or yeah, like what are you focusing everything on. We've been having this debate quite a bit lately, actually.
Yeah.
I just feel like because overview we had like a lot of real success in like
Straight
20
away.
2020. Well, a little bit. I mean, we had that like clinical track that was out like not long after we first started, so to have that kind of level of you know of that, and it took a little bit to kind of like organically grow, and then we had this streak in 2020 where it just seemed like all we had to do was put a release out, and it
It's flying up.
it flying,
Yeah.
and like the last year has been yeah, not I still feel the music has been good, but we haven't been quite reaching some of that same level, and then you start sort of like yeah questioning why or what, yeah, again then like almost like yeah what do you consider success, how do you measure that, what do you really care about, and because we know that's the thing, I never actually cared like when we first started Overview, and even for like the first while we never even charting or streaming or like stats never were like a
No, it's just about putting out the music that you
yeah
love.
I
Yeah.
like it never was like that, and then yeah, and then as you kind of like move up the ladder, yeah, it sort of then becomes like a little bit more that kind of like pressure, or then the pressure of your own success, but
Totally. Totally. Yeah. No, it's a funny old game. It's ups and downs, and the tunes that you think are going to do really well often don't, and then the ones that you don't expect to fly off. I found that with Trust anyway.
how do how
Um,
do how do you deal with that? How do you deal with that?
um, it's a roller coaster of emotions. It is doing drum and bass definitely as a producer. You're kind of tied to these stupid things, aren't you? Like
Mm.
guitar positions and likes on your posts and all that. So you have to kind of channel it out a little bit, don't you? And focus on the music.
I like the I've watched. Have you watched the Defiant ones? Have you seen that? The
Yes, of course. Yeah,
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 yeah.
okay. I haven't seen it before, but I watched it the other day, and then the guy was talking about being like a racehorse and putting the blinders up, and
Yeah,
you're
staying in
not
your
focusing,
lane.
staying in your
Yeah,
lane. Yeah, maybe got to get like better at that, or it can be easy to get kind of like distracted, I guess, and
totally.
looking at other people or focusing too much on these things rather than what's really important, which is what you feel, what you were really. Go on.
I think what it is, I think everyone goes through it as well. So it's like you're all like kind of up and down with what's going on, but
Mm,
everyone else is going through it as well. So that makes you feel a bit better.
yeah,
It's like only very few artists having like everything they want happen, basically.
but I bet even if you talk to them, even they would still like, I don't know,
Yeah,
even
no,
they would still
exactly.
have those same pressures, which, yeah, as you certainly
Mm.
move up the ladder, like I think things don't change in that way, but yeah, he's still got even more pressure. Damn, we've started off really deep and
Okay.
really philosophical. I'm really sorry about that because
Okay.
usually when someone goes, oh, how you doing? You just you're supposed to go, oh yeah, no, I'm great, mate. How you doing? Yeah, no, I'm great. But I've been having
No,
a bit of a funny one. Oh.
have a good bank holiday. Did you go out?
Did I go out? Kind of. I went. My girlfriend Emma, she played a set on Friday night, and we
Oh, wicked.
went down saw that. Um, yeah, no, I've been trying to take it a little bit easier. It was my girlfriend's birthday week last week, so
Oh, yeah, yeah,
we
yeah. Saw that.
ended
Yeah,
up yeah having a few late nights and all the rest of it, which probably hasn't helped.
That,
But
I
look.
feel it. Hey,
This is more supposed to be about you. This is what we're really here for today, rather than worrying about me and my issues. I probably will say hello to anyone that is joining or is saying hello, or anyone that is listening right now. Sorry to be getting
yeah.
so deep so quickly. We'll try to like maybe that is going to set the tone for how this is going to go. But yeah, look, I'll tell you what. I'll just do a little introduction just to sort of like say hello. But yeah, I'm being joined today by an artist who has been like steadily on the rise. Been working away for quite a number of years, actually. If you were to like look into his back catalogue, back history, he's recently just put a brand new single out on Overview, which is Plummet back to back, Sleep on It, and we're being joined right now by man like Trex.
Hello.
Crowd goes wild. Crowd goes wild. How long have you been in drum and bass then? This is what that was one of my first questions.
Hey. Um, so a lot. I've been into it for a long, long time, but how long have I been taking it seriously? Maybe like 8 years or something. Um, yeah.
When you say taking it seriously, what you mean is in like actually being wanting to get involved in it in a
I
more.
was always DJing and stuff like that, and putting nights on and being involved in it. But to really like nail it as a producer, 8 years ago, maybe a bit less. Was like, right, I need to really put the hours in before I never get anywhere, and it's too late for me. So that was probably when I started, and I realized that you have to put a shitload of hours in. You can't just if you want to be kind of, I don't know. If I do something, I want to kind of get really good at it. I don't want to take any shortcuts. And yeah, so that's it's taken me this long to kind of master what I'm doing really, and to come up with my own sound and like a decent sound.
Mm.
I would say like 8 years, yeah, maybe 7, 8 years probably. Into drum and bass for much longer than that. I've been around
I've been
definitely.
around.
But
I've been around.
yeah, yeah. But I've also had like careers and jobs and all sorts of other stuff as well. Like it's not like I've just been sitting around. I've done a bit of chef, fucking Uber driving, loads of different jobs.
Yeah.
So yeah, like, I've lived a life at the same time, kind of parallel to being into it.
Well, I think it's interesting. 'Cause I think it's interesting, sort of like different people's career trajectories. Because you'd probably say that like things have happened for you a bit later on. In
Yeah,
in your life in a way.
yeah, 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 totally. But I mean, that's my particular journey. It's just when I got around to it, probably. You know, when I was first doing it, I just didn't really have access to like when I was first into it, I didn't have access to making the tunes really. It was a lot more difficult then. But with the kind of digitization, that right?
We'll
Yeah.
take that.
Yeah, of everything, and becoming a lot easier to do at home. Then it changed the game really. So yeah, I was looking at Reason, started on Reason a long time ago, and then left it alone for a bit, and then came back Cubase Logic. So yeah, that kind of setup with software, synths and stuff like that, opened the doors really.
It's interesting you say actually about kind of because you probably I think we did have a bit of a chat about because I put a bit of a status up recently about kind of the access to knowledge and information that is like currently there for everyone. But like you're saying, like when you kind of like first wanted to get into it, like that knowledge just wasn't as easily accessible.
True, you had to know someone with the kind of the gear and stuff. I did go to college. I did a music technology course, which was just rubbish. It was so bad. I mean, it was like I knew more than they did, kind of thing. It was like
right.
It was in Yeovil College in Somerset, which isn't like
not the most world renowned musical heritage.
Like, yeah, exactly. And the guy was just it was pretty useless. We were all like, so that was my first foray into it. But over the years, just like I say, dabbled, and then 8 years ago, I was with my girlfriend at the time, my wife now, and
Mrs. Trex.
Mrs. Trex, Ella.
Big up.
She could see that I was getting down, that it was kind of slipping away, that I was never going to properly have a dig at it before I keel over and die. So here we are.
She really supported you then. She was like,
yeah. Well, she's a musician as well. Yeah,
right.
So she's it's weird because we're on this kind of sort of parallel career moves that we're making. She's been really successful doing live stuff at the moment around London, and she's out all the time doing gigs. She's a piano player and a singer. Bloody good, might I add. She's very good. And she teaches as well.
Right.
So yeah, we're all like, we got our 2 kids as well, so we're out doing gigs a bit now. So it's mad. It's a mad kind of situation we're in, but it's what we always wanted, I guess. So it's good.
I mean, it's good to have that. Good to have that support there, because as well, like maybe some people, if you say you're saying like things that are like a bit now or never in a way, like, and obviously if you're starting to get a bit like say the wrong side of 30, and it's like, oh well, some people would be like, oh well, what, you want to be a drum and bass person, like don't be silly, like go and get a real job, do you know what I mean? And do you know what I mean? Like, so,
mine was the other way around. I had a real job, and then I used to work at MTV as well. That was where I used to work. I worked there for quite a few years,
right,
in Camden. So I had careers, I had a job, I had but it was just, I don't know.
Wasn't fulfilling for you.
If you're into proper music, don't work at MTV. The soul will get sucked away from you slowly.
Oh no! What were you doing at MTV out of interest?
So the graphics, basically, I was on the graphics team. When I first got there, I was all like keen. I got involved with MTV Base. Was it at the time?
Yeah. I used to watch that. That back in the day. So I've probably seen some of your work. I've probably seen some of your work from back in the day.
Yeah, I used to do all the graphics and the bits and pieces that came up on the screen. I'd go into the meetings into Base, thinking I would be able to get some decent kind of hip hop going on there, and soon got put in my place. And
wow. And
just kind of it's not. I've met some great people there, but if you're into your proper music, that's the kind of.
That must have been a tough era as well for because the music industry changed massively.
Yeah. It was all very commercial. Yeah. But I know. Do you know what I learned? I learned how a lot of stuff there and how a TV station works and all that. But if you're a music purist, it's not for you.
Stay away from MTV. But no, I just think it's interesting, because I think it's interesting out there for people, because I think there can be, we were talking about comparing people and comparing people's career trajectories and all the rest of it, because I think we see so many kind of 18-year-old producers or artists or musicians, and even in wider culture at large, like when you're looking at, the Justin Biebers of the world and that kind of thing. And you see, there's this such, this kind of such a kind of, youth being like obviously
Yeah,
like what
no, it
everyone
is.
looks at, and don't be wrong, you know, I think there's definitely something about being young and whatever, but maybe I guess for some people where, like you're saying, it doesn't quite happen for them at that kind of like 18 to 25, you know, to 30
Yeah, I mean,
age.
I was between 18 and 25. I was out partying. Yeah, there's no way I could have made tunes, out raving and partying. So this is just the time in
Mm,
my life where I was able to sit down and put enough hours in to
mm,
do it. Really. So
mm.
yeah, this is, and
But
here we are.
I think it's good, you know, I think it's good to, you know, and hopefully kind of like at least can show some people that, hey, you know, there's many different ways to do it, because I think some people will be like, oh well, it hasn't happened for me yet, and maybe I'll never, you know, it will never happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I guess if you
And
know,
set your own goals. I mean, I've set some goals, and I'm just achieving them now. And then I was gonna like just sort of just reach the peak, or we'll reach where a few places that I wanted to get to, and then like maybe call it a day. But it seems to just be snowballing into more stuff. And I'm not old. I'm not young anymore. I'm not old. I can still walk.
getting
I can't
up is
keep
a
up.
bit more difficult in the morning.
Yeah. And I can't keep up when it comes to partying anymore, which I've found out the hard way a few times since I've been getting bookings. So I need to realize that I can't get smashed, like I used to.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've still got a few years left in me. Yeah, definitely.
What do you think? What do you think the secret has been? Is it? Do you think it is real? Wait, yeah. I mean, yeah. What would you say? Or a few things would you say the reason for things having turned around? Or yeah,
Uh,
you know.
just working hard, and I don't like look at. It's weird because I still think that I'm like 20 in my head. So when I talk to like people that I work with who are a lot younger, I'm just talking to them like they're my mates. I don't notice any difference. It's just the number that's attached to my age. I'm still like I still think I'm about 20 in my head. So I still act like 20-year-old who are just a bit slower. So yeah, I don't see it like that. I don't see age, and I don't think most people do. It's just music, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, well, I think that's a thing as you kind of like get older. You know, I've certainly found that as you get older, you don't actually realize. It's that thing like when you were 18, looking at someone that's 30. You know,
Yeah,
you'd
yeah,
sort
I
of like think,
remember.
oh my god, like how old are they, sort of thing. And then when you actually get
Yeah,
here, you'd be like, I'm not that old, like, and you're
yeah,
not, and
yeah,
you're
yeah,
actually not. Like, I think that's probably the other thing as well. Like, and they
yeah,
probably keep on happening. You know, it's the same with like looking at someone who's 80. You'd be like, oh god, look how old they are. But probably when you get there, you'd be like, I'm not actually that old. I
It's
don't know.
great, man. 'Cause I've got like a double life. I've got kids at school, and I kind of like do this drum and bass thing, which is a lot younger, and then I'm out talking about old, up middle age stuff with the other parents about flipping. I don't know who's taking
Who's
the mate to a trampolining party or some shit like that. It's weird. Like a double life, but it's good though. I wouldn't change it.
No, no. Well, you know, it's good to kind of like. I think maybe that can be the other thing with drum and bass. Maybe is it can get kind of like very consuming. So if you are kind of like fortunate enough to kind of
Yeah,
like
totally.
have an outlet where you're not
Yeah,
just focused, because obviously it's what because you are doing it all full time now. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, it's weird. Like I say, we have our kids, and it's the way our jobs are. We're not on 9 to 5s, me and Ella. So we rotate. It's a very like organized schedule with childcare and then gigs, and we have to kind of be organized. Um, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of organization.
Mm. But
um,
yeah. We're getting by. We're doing all right. If it's weird being musicians, the way that incomes, you have to hustle, and across the board, like very few people make tons of money out of music, so you have to really be organized and hustle revenue streams and everything like that. It's the same with drum and bass. Like, you have to be very clever
mm,
and figure
mm.
it out.
I mean, obviously, a big thing that you are have got a Patreon, which
Our Patreon, yeah, which I've started up only like 7 weeks ago now, but I'm really, really getting into it, and it started well. I didn't expect it to start as quickly as the numbers have been jumping up, so that's good. That is a nice revenue stream. And then yeah, like things come in bits and bobs, don't they? We've been getting a few more gigs and stuff. So yeah.
Would you say the Patreon has been a big factor to or a big thing, or could you see it becoming a big thing in terms of?
Yeah, well, I've been
what you're
chatting with
doing?
a few people. I'm not going to say who it was, but and getting some tips. And yeah, I mean, it potentially can be a very big earner, potentially.
Mm.
So
No,
work, make sure the content's good.
what kind of things? What are you doing on there? What can people?
So,
If
to
people
get to
if people want to go sign up to the to
yeah,
Patreon Trex right now.
Trex. Oh God, I need to remember what the
What's the URL? Patreon.com/Trex, is it? Or
Trex
Trex?
DMB1. I'm just checking.
Come on, we need to we need to do some good we need to do some good plugging.
Here we go. Trex DMB1.
Trex DMB1. Okay,
Yeah,
there you go.
number,
What was Trex DMB already taken?
I'm guessing it was, yeah.
No, no way, no way was it actually taken.
Yeah, well, it must have been. Otherwise, I would have chosen it.
I mean, I managed to get I managed to get /overview.
There's a few there's a
Yeah.
few Trexes and Treeks. There's another guy called Treeks, I think, and there's
Treeks.
There's a few of us, yeah.
Oh, there was another guy. Was he French or something?
Yeah,
Wasn't it?
Treeks, WEX, yeah.
Yeah. Have you had any beef with him so far?
No, we had a conversation. It was friendly. It was
It
quite friendly.
was.
Yeah, but it was quite funny. He said, "What you should change your name to Joe Trex or something." Like he said, like I think, yeah, why don't you change your name to Joe Trex? I was like, well, no, I'm not going to do that. But good luck to you. We'll see what happens.
Right. You
But it wasn't nasty.
didn't want to make a collab. It said Treeks featuring Trex.
Yeah, I mean his music's all right actually. It's pretty good.
Yeah, no, I think I mean he was quite active, like more so a few years ago. Sorry, Treeks, if I'm getting that wrong, but I feel like he was more active a few years ago, and I haven't seen so much from him recently. Well, now who needs Treeks when you have Trex, really?
Well, yeah, exactly. No, I'd be interested to hear what he's doing. It was a friendly kind of bantery kind of conversation we had. It wasn't like, what the fuck are you doing? It's like,
yeah.
We'll see. Good luck to you, mate. We'll see who cracks on.
I'm gonna have to do the where did the name come from then? Where was the is that one that has been lost in the?
I tell you, I ask myself that sometimes.
You actually don't know.
I can't remember. No, I think it just sounded cool once, probably when I was drunk or something. I don't know. It's literally like.
Were you DJing as Trex first? I'm guessing.
Yeah. I had some I had some worse names than that before that. So yeah, and once you get a name, you just kind of stick with it, don't you? I had thought about changing a few times, like a production alias, but it hasn't come to fruition yet.
What was your? You need to give me. What was your old aliases? Can you? What were you DJing as before?
16, I had one called Bass Chef.
Bass Chef, yes.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's had a 16-year-old moment like that when they're. I mean, what were we into at 16? We into jump up. I know a lot of people were. I was a little bit.
To be honest, at 16, I wasn't listening to drum and bass. I was like, I was going through like a grime and hip hop kind of. It was that first kind of wave of that era. Yeah. Well, I think it was like hip hop, and then 17. I was 2006, 7 grime, and then into and then it was about 2000, late end of 2008 that I found drum and bass. So yeah, I didn't have my old alias. My original alias was Peter Piper. That was actually just my. But I felt that was Bass Chef. I think maybe Bass Chef needs to come back.
Bass Chef, yeah.
Or the Bass Chef EP, maybe. I don't know. Could do that on Trust Me. You can have that idea for free.
Hey, cheers.
That's all right. It would be really funny actually to just find out lots of people's like original aliases.
Everyone had some bad names to begin with. Definitely, everyone does.
I don't know what my favorite one is. I can't remember if anyone's. Well, some people probably still have them as well. But yeah, I didn't know if Trex was to do with a T-Rex or something or it really wasn't.
I don't even know. I can't remember.
That's funny.
Yeah, yeah. But it's about what you associate with the name, whether it's a good. There are better names than others, but if it's the product that's tied to it, is the important bit, I guess.
Mm. And you're happy with, yeah, obviously happy with how that's been going.
Yeah, yeah. Recently, yeah. I mean, there's a few in the back catalogue that wouldn't mind deleting, but
Oh no.
most of them, I'm just happy with the journey. But there's a few.
I mean, I suppose it's that thing, isn't it, of like when you're like ready. Always that thing of like when you're ready to be releasing. I mean, I don't know. Do you think that you did release a bit too early then, or is it just a few things, just a couple
It's
of
weird
things?
because it sounded good. It sounded quite good then, if you know what I mean. But if you listen to it now, up against what's going on, it just sound dated. But um, yeah, I don't know. Probably, I know it was it was different back then. I didn't realize it was all going to get put on Spotify either because it just got
Mm.
uploaded without me asking. But I'll go back through and have a look.
I mean, you probably can if you really really want to go back and like take it off. Like,
Yeah,
although I don't know how the labels will feel about that. But then I don't know
maybe like
if those labels
seven
are still
streams a
going.
month. One of them gets like has had like something like 36 streams or something like that. So go and find it.
Go and
If
find
you want
it. If you want to
to.
go and have a good chuckle to yourself, or again, like I feel like it's good to kind of like at least air this sort of thing because again, like the pressures that different producers or different artists will put on themselves, that yeah, they may look at someone like yourself and to hear someone like yourself even still saying that, I'd like to think would give some people a bit of hope to be like
Yeah,
it can
I've
happen to
always said
anybody.
there is certain people that come out and it's all very polished from the start, and that's one way of doing it. Mine was more of a journey, which I am proud of, but there is a few in there that I would, right. Yeah, I'm sure every producer's got that with their back catalogue.
Yeah, yeah. No, no. Yeah. Although I don't produce, so I don't.
Have you never
I don't
produced?
know. I not like by myself. I've like sat in on some sessions and kind of like helped. Like it would be something that I would like to kind of like do a bit more of. I think it's just that thing, like you're saying, of time,
Yeah,
to actually be able to dedicate. Like I almost feel like I don't have enough time. I don't have enough time in the day as it is, let alone trying to kind of then put a music career on top of that. um
1,000 hours, whatever it is that you need to.
yeah, 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 yeah. I mean, some people obviously maybe are quite naturally talented with it. I'm not sure I'm not sure I'd put myself into that category. I mean, anything could be worked at, but yeah, no, I just, yeah. I mean, but then the problem is, I'm even telling myself that, even by me telling myself, "Oh, you don't have enough time to be able to do it." Um, but yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. Maybe I'm just better suited to like the more business side of it.
Doing a great job, man.
But well, yeah, you think doing okay. It's it's hard work, and it is a lot of hours. And yeah, even like to say the pressures of feeling like have I got it right or not, and the further you move up the kind of like ladder with it,
Yeah,
no,
we're getting deep again, aren't we?
we are getting deep again. We are getting deep again. I'm sorry. I'm sorry it's happened. We're not, to be honest, being open and honest. I think even your release. I really did have to like battle with that.
Yeah, we talked
In a
about it
way.
before. Yeah.
And when I say, well, I don't know, when I say like when I say battle about it, I think there's been this kind of thing of like this pressure of what we've done and what we're kind of like known for, and then it's like that thing of then trying to do something different but also keeping it in the same. And because I know I did kind of, I feel I almost feel a bit bad because I feel like I really kind of like tested you in a way. I don't know, like, or again, like trying to submit quite a few things
No. I
to
enjoyed
get
that.
them to stick.
We obviously I knew no Ollie. I knew him before you really, and I've just built up a relationship with him. And he was saying that he wanted, it'd be great to get something, and but to get something that yeah, I wanted to fit on your label, but to sound like me as well. I didn't want to like try and sound like one of your other artists,
Mm.
uh, which is uh, kind of quite difficult to do. Really, we were trying to bridge that gap, weren't we? Couldn't get there for a while, but I don't know. I feel like it's. I don't know. I feel like it's dropped all right.
No,
So far.
no, mate. The reaction, the support, and like I'm really like, I almost feel, I'm glad that kind of pushed through and
Yeah,
try to not like over, again, that's the problem of like overthinking something or or what you sort of think about it in a way, because it is like pushing more into like a certain sort of like sound or a side,
yeah.
but then but I still
Too
think it
far.
well, it's that thing, it's that thing, and everybody, that's the thing, like everybody has all these different opinions, and you could get people be like, oh well, that's not an overview release, like, do you know what I mean? And that criticism has been kind of like thrown at me more so lately, to be honest. But then
All right.
but and that's not from loads of people, to be honest. That's a couple of people, and I don't know how much some people feel about that. But then
Mhm.
we have been trying to kind of like to branch off and do different things that aren't just your kind of like typical kind of like wings minimal kind of like
Yeah,
rollers, because we have that kind of like archetypal kind of future techie thing,
yeah,
um but
absolutely.
but yeah,
I
but
love it. Yeah,
no, and and I've still been trying to, it's that thing, of like trying to make, keep it within that world, but then also push yourself to try something else, and not just, because again, I think it's that thing of like creativity. You end up, if you just repeat the same thing over and over, it is going to
yeah,
go stale. People will get bored of it, and you're not I am someone that likes to challenge people, and challenge, keep on pushing yourself to try something different,
yeah,
and maybe
yeah. No, well,
yourself, I think so because I do think that this release is a very kind of, it is a very weird release, to be honest. Like, they are
yeah,
weird tunes in a good
yeah,
way.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah. Um, I just, yeah, I always get that, and I always get it. I just make things. I just make music that I want it. I kind of like. I just go with it, and it always seems to sound different to a lot of other stuff that's out there. But that's all right. Yeah, it is what it is.
well, again, it's that thing of like being able to like separate yourself, because it's kind of like, it's got that kind of, it's got like the role, like almost bordering on sort of like Larry jump uppy kind of stuff, but then it's not. It's a very, it's just, very very it's different. It's
Channel
different.
Bitstream. It's in the middle, right? Which is yeah, it's usually where I sit. Which it can be frustrating because you don't really have a crowd to aim for sometimes. So you're in the middle.
Mm,
Um, some people
mm.
have got their fan base there or on that side. Mine's kind of a bit from over there, a bit from over there, which is all right. That's just the way I'm doing it. It's
I,
not intentional. It's just the way it is.
yeah, I mean, you can only represent yourself, and do what you want to do. I guess, but that's if you are trying to remain true to yourself, I guess, and do what
Yeah,
do what you like, and do what means something to you. Because
yeah,
otherwise, you could, I'm sure if you wanted to, you could quite easily go and make a sort of, generic, sounding track that is gonna like appeal to a certain audience, or something.
some. I do make some. Just I do make things like that just to see if just to challenge myself to do it. But I don't like them.
Really, really. Well, you feel like
Yeah, I don't
you
like.
feel like you feel like you're selling your soul a little bit.
Well, no, I just doesn't. I listen to it back, and I'm not. Yeah, just not happy with it. Some doing collabs with people is a good way for me to kind of find a different lane. I'm working a lot with Matt at the moment, TI, and our sound is weird. It's coming together now after about 5 or 6 tunes. We've got a sound now. Um,
Nice.
that's good. So yeah, that's interesting stuff.
I mean,
And it
he's
kind
got.
of
It's kind of. You said those kind of maybe because Matt I think is probably another kind of guy that sits in that kind of middle thing. I did see. I don't know if you saw it. It was Serum put a status up the other day. Did you see that? Where he's like,
he's talking about every day, hasn't he?
I know, yeah, no, no, he's funny, but he put like the jump up heads think that my music's too deep, and the deep heads think that my music's too jump up.
I commented on that. I was like, I have that every single day, mate. Like, you've nailed. I didn't know that's what I need. You've just said what's in my head without me realizing it. That's where I sit. But it's fine though. Like, if as long as you're happy and it's music, isn't it? And you're doing what you should be doing.
Maybe we need to create a new subgenre. Maybe we need to give it a name. I don't know. What, maybe rollers is what kind of tried to bass chef. Yeah, bass chef.
Bass chef genre.
I'm not gonna let that one catch on, man. That's not good enough. Do you find yourself have you been getting some jump up bookings and stuff then as well, or where what kind of?
I get bookings like no, not jump up, not like not like breaking sciencey jump up, because it's not fast enough. It's weird. It's like it's kind of like at the kind of steppy kind of tempo, with like kind of minimal roller kind of tempo with the drums and stuff like that, but with like slightly different bass lines, I guess. So it kind of I get booked to play all sorts of places. I was in Liverpool on Friday night, which was wicked. The crowd up there were good. Have you been up there?
No, we've not been up to Liverpool yet. We've got one in Manchester in September with Hit and Run. Have you played Hit and Run yet?
No, not yet.
Rich,
yeah.
Mr. Hit and Run. I feel like you'd be a great booking for Hit and Run, to be honest.
Yeah, no, I did a mix for him during lockdown. He was doing those kind of live mix things. And he said he's going to get me up there soon. But yeah.
Come on, Rich, sort it out.
It would be cool because their lineups are sick. I really like what they do. It's just like really varied.
Yeah. No, I really. Yeah, they have like you're saying, different sounds within drum and bass. They'll put on like even 140 and all different kinds of stuff. Like it kind of feels like there's not so much of that around in a way, or the fact that they still do it and still kind of pack out venues by the looks of it, and kind of like educating their crowds.
I just had the Critical one, didn't they, the other day? It looks pretty good.
Yeah. No, and again, similar sort of thing. Because it can be that thing, with as a promoter or whatever, like when you just sort of get kind of, stuck a little bit in terms of that, wanting to do things that are going to challenge and test people, or book the kind of people that are going to be ticket sellers, I guess, or in that different.
What bugs me?
Here we go. No.
On the festivals, and I'm. It just seems, the artists that they book are all brilliant artists, but it's the same ones headliners on nearly every festival. When it comes to drum bass, I just noticed it. Like Shy FX, who's a legend, Hybrid Minds, Thingy, and then Crewcast, and they're all wicked. But I mean, how many times could you go and see them one summer? I don't know. I'm not trying to burn any bridges, but no, I'm just wondering who who comes up with the ideas to come up with anything slightly different.
I know what you mean. I did have a chat actually with, I'm not going to name their names, and it was after I did that status talking about it, and then he was talking about the kind of, you can guarantee that the same 30 people are going to be playing all the festivals like over the summer, and like why that is, or like breaking into that kind of but then I think is that pressure that the promoters have, and these big promoters have, when you've got to sell, you're talking 15,000 tickets or whatever, and maybe I suppose it's that thing, like I'm not gonna lie, like we had it with we had a big festival in Brighton at the weekend. I'm probably about to burn some bridges right now, but it was it was just like a very, I mean, it was very, very generic kind of festival, and you had the kind of it was very like bass house and bass line led, and then you had the kind of usual kind of like drum and bass, you know, and a few people playing. But I kind of like, I could see the clientele that were going to attend this thing, and it was just like, that is just not somewhere I would want to be, like,
Yeah,
as a kind of thing. And I don't know, maybe some of these people, I don't want to sound like too condescending, but I don't know, like, maybe some people just don't, don't want to do that. You know, it's the same thing with like, why is like the chart music so successful in a way
no,
where,
I'm not saying no, I'm not booked. I just like literally, because I'm content with just doing. If I could just, one or two bookings a month, I just get, I don't want to be. I wouldn't want to be out on the road all weekend doing 3 or 4. I wouldn't want to get to that. But so I'm content with just doing a few. But when I looked at the flyer, I was just looking at them all at once, and it was just literally the same thing. And that's all. It's like, I understand they got to sell tickets, but it was like, how many times do punters want to see the same thing over and over again? Was my
but that's what I think. I think that like a lot of people, I'm not sure that they actually care enough. Like they actually, I don't know, like maybe that. It's that thing. They're just like, they are content with seeing that. They know what they're going to go see. I think that's maybe the thing, and maybe that's what I mean. In liking it to chart music. When you go to a commercial club and you're getting the same top 40 tunes playing, it's because people know they're going to go there. They know what to expect. They're not going to be tested. They're not going to be tested. Yeah, they can all hear the same songs that are all being played. And
no, that's what
without sounding like a bitter old person as it is. That's okay. Some people want that, I guess. But yeah, it does make me a bit sad. I was even sort of saying it the other day to my girlfriend, like, just whether or not like a lot of culture and mainstream culture is just being so sanitized now, and and that goes from like blockbuster Hollywood films to kind of like what's being released in the charts. And I don't know what it is. I don't know whether or not society is being dumbed down a bit. I don't know if that's a bit of a fucking. I don't know if that's a bit of a generalization. I don't know. It just feels like, yeah. I don't know. It just feels like. And the thing is there are some amazing people there, and there are some some really, really talented people, but it just feels like it's if you do want to go down that path, you've got to be prepared for it being a lot harder, and you're not gonna see the same levels that it once was. And I do feel like it's, things have changed so much in the last number of years, and I think the advent of mobile phones and social media, I think, have had a big impact on that, where it's not actually all about the real sheer kind of creative talent anymore. It can be more about how many followers on Instagram you have, and how well you can market yourself as a online. And
it's funny if I start trying to go down that route of being no, when other people do it, it's fine and it doesn't bother me too much, but it doesn't suit me, so I try to do something like a bit sexy with I don't know, TikTok or Instagram. My missus tucks me in straight away. She'll just be like,
"This isn't you.
This isn't you. Don't be a dick." And so yeah, but people do it. People, and fair play to them. Really, it's frustrating sometimes, but
again, maybe it's that thing of like, well, yeah, it's difficult not to then get caught up in it, in terms of, like looking at it all so much and worrying so much about it. I mean, it's good to, you've got to keep an eye on it in some respects, but then it's like how you frame it, how you look at it. Because otherwise you can end up just
aspect of it as well. I mean, a lot of people that blow up through social media. I don't know if there's much longevity. Maybe I don't know if you're
Mm.
building it slowly with a kind of solid base of. That's what I tell myself anyway.
No, 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 and you know, and look, I really, you know, and you know, the fact that you're, you know, the fact that you're saying that, and the fact that you feel that way, and obviously saying your own career trajectory, you know, and you know, mine has been a kind of a little bit similar in some respects, although kind of like Overview has had the kind of like initial success. Like it actually took me a long time before that. You know, I was
With that other label.
uh, no, no,
No,
we're not allowed to talk. We're not allowed to talk about that. We're not allowed to talk
yeah,
about that.
no, I'm joking.
You know the story, kind of.
I know the
You know.
story.
But
I knew
listen,
the story. Yeah,
no, sorry, what are you gonna say?
I knew the story before I knew you.
Yeah, no, that's a lot of people do. A lot of people do. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean? But that's the thing. You know, even before that, you know, I was at it. You know, at it for quite a long time. You know,
yeah,
and it's been a slow burner, and I feel that that has actually benefited me. Like, because there was a few things that I did back when I was a lot younger that could have taken off, and I feel that if it had have taken off at that time, and I'd have really been rocketed up to doing something really big, that I'm not sure that at the time I would have been able to handle it as well, or again that kind of like
that's true. Yeah,
fast burn and then burning out in a
yeah,
way, whereas like to have this more like natural progression, and maybe that is a, you know, that is a true thing about a lot of people with how they could make it, because you know, talk about this kind of like width versus depth kind of aspect, and you know, when you're, you know, virality, and that's what you're worrying so much about, and you know, rather than actually like really focusing on putting out stuff that you really believe in, and
yeah,
because it's, you know, it's that whole thing of like attracts like in a way,
yeah,
because you put
yeah.
out
I
great
think, and
music.
also so yeah, I, everyone's done it. You go through periods when you're really down about it, and you can't even look at Instagram or whatever. You just you know, if things aren't going well in your own mind, when they probably are anyway. Just switch off for a bit. Go for a walk. Go and have a look around. Look at your kids or your animals or whatever, and then come back to it and just try and just stay positive. And that's what I've tried to do anyway. Past kind of 3 4 years, just really have a like a positive kind of whatever setbacks you have, and everyone has them. Just keep pushing forward.
Mm,
I would say.
I'll take that one. I'll take that one on board.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ! I didn't realize this was going to get so
Very deep. It
you put
started deep. It went out of the deepness and it's gone right back in again.
yeah. Well, you picked me you picked me at the right time. I don't know. I've just yeah, just thinking about a lot of things that's going on at the moment. You know, it's been a, I mean, it's been just a weird time, I think, to be involved in music in general, and well, probably it's just been a weird time to be alive on planet Earth, I think, for the last like, you know,
Yeah.
few years. You know, and everything we've had to kind of like take on board. Because I certainly, yeah, obviously the negatives, like you're saying, the negatives that there has been that we've all had to kind of face, but then actually trying to stay positive about it, and frame it in a positive way. And it can be a challenge. It can be a challenge because, um,
Yeah.
sorry,
Yeah. Yeah.
getting deep on everyone again.
Yeah.
Getting really way too deep. Let's talk about something funny or fun. Talk about something fun. I don't know. What have you got next? What have you got next coming for? What's next for Trex?
What's next?
What's
So
what's what's your overall plan?
I've got too
What
much. Probably, my plan is to um stop saying yes to everything.
I like that you've actually gone with like a philosophical kind of or something there. That's very fitting.
Yeah,
Stop saying
stop
yes
saying
to everything.
yeah,
I
yeah,
I I actually I am actually starting to think that that is quite a good idea.
yeah. Because I don't know. Yeah, it's just yeah. It's just I'm always like, yeah, mate. That's just my natural like because I want to try and do everything, but then realizing you can't fucking do it, and then people waiting around. So when I say yes that I want to do things, it's not. I actually do, but but then
Mm,
channeling it, especially now the Patreons come in and it's just like shot in, and now it's doing all right, and I have to concentrate on that now because it's a viable, it's a source of income. So even less time to do the other bits and pieces. So yeah, stop saying yes to everything and narrow it down. But I have got some exciting stuff going on. I've got sofa sound. I've got a thing on there. Uh,
Like a full
various,
release, like a you
very
on the sofa so fucking sick.
fucking sick. Yeah. I've got a tune on there.
Nice.
I've got my Metalheads release at the end in June, which I will send you. And then more trust stuff after that. So yeah, I'm just keeping up the pressure for the rest of the year. And then yeah, stuff with Ti to come out on Metalheads as well. Various bits and pieces and remixes that I need to get on with, which is why I'm saying yes to so much stuff because for years there wasn't anyone asking. So suddenly to be asked like by loads of people, it's just like, yeah, all right, yeah, you want one, yeah. And suddenly there's a lot to do.
I
So I've got to work
we need to talk about that remix for overview.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a remix for overview. Yeah, definitely.
But there's no time pressure on that.
Which one did we decide on?
I actually don't know. I don't
Was
know.
that?
Did you even decide on one? I don't know.
It was a next tax tune, I think.
Oh yeah.
Chatting with Ollie about it. I can't remember which ones. There was three that I said.
Tell you what, let's not tell anyone online. We'll keep that one
Yeah.
at least somewhat a secret.
Yeah. Yeah. Big up neck tags.
Big up neck tags. Big up the necky.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, no, it's good stuff. And trust really does seem to be like really taking off for you as well. Like
yeah, we're doing all right, man. It's just me and my pal Tommy, who is like a legend. He's older than me, if you can imagine that. And and he's he's taught me loads of stuff about. He's got all the original acid house records and jungle, all the original jungle records, and
serious head then.
Yeah, and he's up to date on everything new, and like he just knows what's going on. And so yeah, I run the label with him, and we just run it like in a real way, no pretentiousness. We just sign music that we like, really, just like you.
No, I respect that, and I certainly, I think again, with the whole kind of like rebrand thing that you guys did, and just the kind of, it's a consistent and reliable. You know that you're gonna get good music on it, and it seems to be kind of like, you seem again starting to have some charting releases and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, we had a one with Teach.
Yeah.
That's just we did a video for it, which is funny. It was just a ridiculous day in Bristol, really, but then it turned into a music video.
Is that online? Is that online already?
Yeah, it got premiered by the NB Arena, but it's just basically us being idiots around Bristol for the day and filming it. And
so if anyone wants to see Trex, it's called Hot
One. I'm only in it. I'm in the shadows, like in the background, looking scary. Now I'm not cut out for music videos.
Not sitting there popping bottles of Cristal, Cans of Stella in the background. Well, I was thinking if like Hot One, you could have done like something to do with like eating chicken wings.
Yeah, well, that's what it was about.
Oh, it is.
Yeah. That's Medic. Big up Medic, who's a Don as well. Do you know Medic? He's like,
I know of him. He's involved with Metalheads now, isn't he? He's been doing some stuff
with Goldie quite a lot. Yeah.
I actually really want to watch this music video now, so that's what I'm going to do after this. I love a good. We need more D&B music videos.
As we were filming it, loads of people, like kind of Bristol. There's quite a few characters. We were just coming over and getting involved in the video, so we were just filming it and letting it happen.
Even better.
Yeah, and Turbo Island, of course. That's a bit of it. Turbo Island in there.
The legendary.
Yeah.
No.
Which I'd never been to, actually. I'd been past there. I didn't realise it was called that. But then I'd never seen it in full swing before down there. And I was like, this place is pretty
Oh,
Pretty
you actually went down there when there was like a fire going and all the people down there
like,
and everything.
like sound, sound system, little one sound system. A fucking
iRig, mini
yeah,
iRig speaker.
thing, yeah, uh,
Mate,
yeah,
you got the full on Bristol experience
kind
then.
of experience,
That's like legendary.
yeah, yeah. It was good fun.
Oh, that's good. So yeah, well look, mate, things seem to be things seem to be well, which is good.
Yep, 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 yeah. All good, and yeah, it's big up for putting the release out. It's been good to finally get here.
Yeah. No, I'm really pleased with it. Obviously got some good support from like Noisier
Yeah,
and for us to do something different. And I've been and playing them out as well. The tunes I played it out, every set I've played lately. Played them out in Germany especially before and
oh yeah,
like
all right.
yeah, it got
Yeah, it seems to drop
serious
all right. Yeah,
reaction.
plumbing especially. I mean, that's sleep on it for me. I made so long ago. I'm kind of bored of it a bit, but it was like well over a year ago. But plummet seems to do the business when you drop it out.
Takes people off guard, and people are like,
Yeah,
what the hell is this?
yeah, punch in the face.
So if anyone wants to go buy it right now,
Yeah,
go to Beatport or go to Beatport. I think it's on Beatport. It's on the Overview website as well. Actually, I think it's gonna be out
yeah.
on Bandcamp this Friday. And obviously, if you're into Spotify, maybe
Goes-
go stream it. Okay, well look, man, I won't keep you too much longer. I feel like we've nearly discussed.
Gone through the whole lot.
You what? Sorry.
We've gone through the whole
I,
range of emotions tonight.
I feel like we have. I feel like we have. I mean, we did actually have a comment saying, "Good podcast, inspiring words." So
Okay.
that's what I like. That's what I like. People like to hear. Again,
Better
like
than weird.
trying to talk openly and honestly about some interesting ideas and hopefully get a bit more of an insight into your mind and to how you work.
Yeah.
Which yeah, I certainly feel like I've got a bit more of. Speaking
That's
of how
true.
you work, let's say have you got. Can you give us a little tour? Do I give us a little like what else we got here?
Yeah, so I'm literally in the corner. We've got a look of the room. That's where I will do my work, but it's like a cornery bit.
Okay.
It's very small. It's not a flashy studio at all.
No, no. Are you more of a headphones man, or are you actually allowed to fully like blast it?
No, I only work in the day really as well because we've got the kids and stuff. So
Right.
do it,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I don't really do nighttime sessions, so I can. My neighbours are all right actually. They don't hate me too much.
You got good neighbours. That's always important.
They're not too bad.
Nah, fair play. Well, look, man. Is there any final words? Anybody you'd like to thank? Anybody you'd like to big up?
Yeah, big up yourself. You and Ollie for putting the tune out. Great label. So I'm really happy to get one on there. And yeah, big up everyone supporting it. Go out and buy it if you can, or stream it, and keep your eyes peeled for more stuff coming soon.
Keep your eyes peeled for more coming soon. And where can people find you? Where are you at? Instagram
Um,
handle, anything like that?
yeah, I'm everywhere. I'm massive on TikTok.
Yeah, go
Massive,
follow Trex on TikTok right now. He's gonna do some dad dances for you.
yeah, massive on TikTok. No, yeah, Trex D&B, I think is all of them. Right.
Okay. So yeah,
Yeah.
anybody, please go and support this man. Please go and support the new release, and yeah, also go check out
Oh,
trust
yeah.
check out Trust Audio. That was a little bit of a wordful there. Here we go. There we go. Represent. Yeah. All right, dude. Well, look. Thank you so much for taking the time today, and
Big up, mate.
yeah,
Um,
we'll speak again very soon. All right, and
Nice.
thank you everyone for watching, listening. We'll be back again in a bit. Goodbye. Bye bye.